Soldier Tuesday. Yeah, we're back on the line.
Follow me.
Toy Soldier Tuesday. Make the place shine. Classic plastic 54 mil. Setting them up for the tactical thrill.
I love the smell of plastic in the morning. Like and subscribe.
Toy Soldier Tuesday. Yeah, we're back on the line. Toy Soldier Tuesday.
Forward, men. The show is about to start.
Classic plastic 54 mil. Setting them up for the tactical thrill.
Did you bring the popcorn?
And welcome everybody to TST Toy Soldier Tuesday. My name is Paul Knapp, and I'll be your host for tonight's show. This is season number 2, episode number 13, and waiting in the green room is our good friends. Actually, we have 3 people waiting in the green room. We have Alex and his son Liam and his brother Charlie. The Baldwins are going to be here tonight, giving us a good show. But before I get to them, let me introduce my wolf pack for tonight. Hopefully they all have good internet. We were having some issues earlier, but let's see who's out there tonight. I'm going to scroll down here. We're gonna pick on this guy first. This man is still trying to figure out how to watch Star Wars in order. This is Mr. Joseph Baker.
That's because I saw it when it came out. You guys are probably too young. Yeah, happy Tuesday. It's great to be here. Looking forward to this show.
Right on, right on. Thanks for being here. And not only does this guy collect toy soldiers, but he is also the president of the Taylor Swift fan club. This is John Salatelli.
Oh, you're really off on that one. Wolf back in the house, everybody. What's up?
I knew you would like that one since you're a heavy metal guy.
I'll never live that one down, eh?
And you never know by looking at this man, but he was often mistaken as Don Johnson in the 80s. This is Seth Nunez.
What's happening, PK, fellas?
What's up,
Toy
Don?
Soldier Tuesday.
And you know I got to save Chris for last, man. The only man that was ever kicked out of the New Hampshire's nudist colony. This is Chris Shaw.
I didn't fit in.
It's because you wouldn't take your clothes off. They had to kick you out.
Well, hey, I'm Irish. What can I say?
I like picking on you, Chris. You're good, man. You used to be a Marine, though. I mean, you're used to that.
I can hack it.
You can hack it. Hey, welcome everyone to TST Toy Soldier Tuesday. We are back again. We got some cool guests for tonight. We hooked up yesterday with the Baldwins and got their internet working. Getting ready to see some cool dioramas they got set up and some of the things they picked out at the last show they were just at. But before we get to them, let's go around the room and say what new in your zoo. And Joe, we'll go back to you. Got anything new over the past week, Joseph?
Actually, the thing that's new for me is somebody was selling one of the rubber back mats. Probably is from that the play mat store or something like that.
Yeah.
But cheaper price, and I'd always I've always made my own, so I thought, hey, for $20 I'm gonna pick this up and see. So I made a little setup with it, and we'll see if the camera will do what it's supposed to do.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's a nice mat. Is that the thick one?
It is kind of nice. Yeah, I've been painting the Warhorse Cheyenne dog soldiers and the Spira 7th Cavalry that Travis Gibson commissioned.
Nice.
There, and then but this has a little bit of everything in it.
Looking good, Joseph. Looking good.
Tell you what,
Very
Joe,
nice.
your painting skills are getting up there with Chris Viola and Seth
Nah.
Nunez.
No, a lot of this is King and Country, and so Team Miniatures and Plastic Underground, which came painted. There's some things, but TSSD's in there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's what I got today.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for sharing,
Yep.
buddy. Chris, how about you go next, man? What you got?
Sure. I picked up the Plastic Platoon Winter Heavy Machine Gun Team.
Did you find them on eBay or?
Yep. Came up pretty decent set. I also picked up the other Russian anti-tank
Oh,
set
yeah.
with a different pose, the guy with the helmet.
Yeah.
So
Well, there you
cool
go.
set. And then with a little guidance from Joe, I picked up the original Marks Navy
Sailor.
Sailors.
Very
You
nice.
get the whole set?
So,
You bought the whole set?
Yeah.
Oh man, where'd you find them?
Yeah.
eBay.
Craig Remington had him on one of his sites on eBay, so I just kind of snagged him. I reached out to Joe a couple times just to get some feedback on him, and
Yeah.
he gave me some good guidance to pick him up. So I
They're
did.
so well sculpted.
Guys is broken, but I did manage to fix him.
Yeah.
All original.
Yeah. Joe, they never did reissue those, huh? Like
Nope.
somebody bought the mold. No.
I think I saw.
Yeah, the
that,
mold's
that
destroyed.
Tim Geppert's doing them. but-
Yes. I think I got a couple of those from Tim.
Yeah, somebody did them in resin, but they kind of fragile. And then I got the Hanamac Soviet I guess scout system or something like that. They were kind of like mountain troops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got a guy with a flag. Guy with a pistol and a little pitchfork. This guy's probably the best pose of them all. Shooting up.
Yeah.
And then on the Barzo theme, got a guy throwing a rock.
Yeah.
And then another guy shooting.
Very nice.
And then the mystery figure.
Oh yeah.
Everybody
Can't
can
go
guess
without
him.
Yeah, I know that one.
Ah. Well, that to me looks like a Marx figure for sure, but
Not a Marx.
not a Marx, huh?
Nope.
Really a Farriot Brothers sculpture.
That's all I have for now. So
All right, buddy. And John Salatellus, you're up next, buddy.
Hey, everybody, what's up?
Happy John.
Here we go. So I was doing 21st century the past couple of weeks, and I got this right here. This is
Nice
the
set.
artillery tool for the 8-inch
Yep.
8-inch
Oh,
pouch.
wow. I've never seen that
It's
one.
the other package. It's the 4-star military, not the. I mean, they're all from 21st century, but I guess they repackaged it under they call it 4-star military. And I already ordered the howitzer already. It's on the way. I thought I had it, but it wasn't. It wasn't the same. So it's the 115 8 millimeter. So we got that one's on the way, and these will go with it. And I already received today. Actually, today this came in. The Panzer 38T. Small.
oh,
yeah.
nice. That's cool.
Yeah,
That is cool. I've never seen that one.
I've never seen that. I
That's a nice
saw
little
it
tank.
a few weeks ago. Yeah, apparently was used in the early years. I mean, 39, 40.
Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, mostly Blitzkrieg. It's actually, I think it's a Czechoslovakian construct that the Germans took over after, I guess, and they used them the first few years and in the Eastern Front in the beginning. And for the rest of the war, you would see them probably as just as reconnaissance tanks or just security and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And the last thing that came in, I actually bought a set of. See if we can see it here now. Okay, this is gonna be. Hold on, guys. I'm just gonna.
There you go.
Okay, this is
Wow.
from Papa's Toys, Papa Joe.
Papa Joe.
Yeah, I got this. It was a lot of barrels, sandbags, crates on eBay.
Yeah.
So
3D printed. Yeah.
yeah, 3D printed. Some of them are already. I mean, the resin was in color. Some have been painted, some are not. So which I'll probably have to,
You
Yeah.
gonna pay them afterwards, John?
Yeah, especially well, these maybe not, but these, oops, probably.
Yeah.
Although I hate it's all the detail and it's like, oh man, it's so annoying to do all this painting. But
Those
whatever.
are nice pieces.
Yeah, they're nice pieces, and he's got another. He's got a whole batch of them on. But he reached out actually on I want to say Messenger. He wanted to check if I got the package okay. So so nice of him. So I said that I let him know,
He's
and
a
then
great guy.
yeah. So
Great
we'll be
guy.
getting. I'll try to be maybe getting the stuff directly from now on. He's got a few more things that I need, and I know the buildings are really nice. It's just that just shipping him here, man. It's just so expensive, so freaking expensive. I know I see. Sometimes I test out because I got some friends in the state that cousin of mine, and Chris is helping me out with something that that I ordered today. I think what was it? Oh, it was the 21st century Japanese.
Japanese, right? Yeah.
The Japanese Imperial Army there. It's here. It's going to be like $30 something, 30, I don't know, 34. Some people are like their shipping is like $70, $50. Like from the US to Canada, we're not talking across the pond. So it's just I mean, Chris, you're getting it. He's shipping it to you. I think for like $8, $8 or $10 or something like that.
Yeah, I got your other stuff, so I get everything. I'll ship it all out to you.
Awesome. So yeah, that's about it. And yeah, and we didn't say we also actually after Seth is done, we should do the chat because we didn't say hi to
Yep.
everybody.
Yep. I was gonna save that for after this. So, all right,
Yeah.
Seth. Sorry to save you for last, man.
Oh, no worries, PK.
That's
Hey,
for last.
last
Yeah,
is always
that's for
good,
last.
brother.
Love the T-shirt.
Yeah, I
Oh.
know. Green Lantern.
Hal
All right,
Jordan
gentlemen.
or
Well, I want to show you these couple things. I got these from like last week. I was telling you since we're short, I got these 21st centuries
Firefly.
fireflies.
Yeah.
I got these from one of our buddies on the chat. If he's on the chat today, Mr. Eric Kersey.
Oh.
yes, sir.
He sent me this, and he's also sent me the other one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 21st century too.
Yes, these are 21st century, Chris. Okay. And then, as you know, I've been working on some 3D printed stuff, and I finished painting these Japanese artillery cannons, and then
War Prince.
no, this is from that George Gonzalez's buddy
Oh.
Rosa.
Rosa. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I removed this, so I'm gonna put this on top of the casino.
Nice. That'll work.
Yeah. And here's the other one, the buffer that I finished painting already, so it's ready to go as well.
That looks nice.
Yeah, I painted it.
Is it the BMC?
No, this one's a 3D printed.
3D printed. Okay.
Yeah, I painted it Panzer Gray after I primered it black. So this one's ready to go as well.
Great detail on that too.
Oh yeah, the detail on that Rosas guys is real good, but the problem, it's real fragile. But the detail is excellent. It's real good. It's real good. So, and I got one more thing, guys, to show you. And I'm gonna have to probably move my phone. Okay, so bear with me, my friends. Okay, this right here I got. Oh, I don't like. I kept trying to center it. Is
Oh man.
Oh man.
let me see if I could get a good. Is that good right there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're seeing the church, man.
Yeah.
This is the church, and our good friend, the architect, the master craftsman himself, Patrick Grains, did
Yep.
this.
Yes, sir.
Love the windows.
Yeah.
So,
So is that
yeah.
styrofoam or 3D printed?
No, this is styrofoam. This is handmade,
Wow.
Chris.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did a good job.
He did a
Yeah,
hell of a
sure
job.
did.
He did on this, man. It's pretty big, and
Does it come apart or is it all glued together?
no, this is all one solid piece. PK. The only thing that comes apart is the roof right here,
Chapel. Oh wow.
and it has a other section in the back as well, like another section like this front end. It's in the back as well, and yeah, man, he did a fantastic job on this one.
Very talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He-
He could make some stuff and sell it at the Chicago show. I mean, he could
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he
no
could definitely
doubt.
have a table there.
Yeah, one off, you know. Wow.
So yeah, Mr. Patrick Grains, man, the architect, hooked that up. So yeah.
Well, Soldier
cool.
World's Leonardo da Vinci.
Pretty darn close.
John, you want to say hi to the chats, folks, before we move on?
Yeah. Sure. Let's start from the top. Horrocks 30th this year. Plastic War 7-2. That's Paul B, right?
Yep.
Ben, what's up, buddy? Great work on all these vehicles. If you want to see all the new 3D vehicles, just follow Ben on Facebook. You're gonna see he gets something like almost twice a week. Ricky Cowell, what's up, brother? Moondoggy's here. Ron McDonald. Gordon Marshall, W5Z from Ontario, I believe. Good, I'm not alone. Again, finally, I got some company. Who else we got? Adam LeMay, Trey Hawker 262. Mike, how's it going? Ben again, Moondoggy. Did I say Moondoggy? I think I did. I think I saw who else? I saw Tom Zorro. Tom Carvoon is from Michigan. Brother, good to see you again. Charles Jackson. I know there's more. There's a lot of people on tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Jim Hamill, 3943. I think I'm more or less done. Charles Jackson, welcome, and I think that's it. Travis Gibson, welcome, and Scott the painter is here. Patrick is here. Hey, Patrick Gray, and they were just talking about you. I'm sure you heard.
Yeah.
Great church, Patrick.
Congrats. Jason Evans, brother, welcome. I think that's about it. Yeah, I'm down to the end. We're good.
Very cool.
Welcome, everybody. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, before we bring out a special guest, I promised everybody they would get a peek at the some of the things that I'm putting in the playset for the Battle of Fredericksburg. If you haven't seen, I just dropped the video yesterday for the 21 figures that are 3D printed that will be in the boxed playset. So in addition to those, just so people don't think they're only getting 21 figures, we're also including a pack of BMC, which are actually the Marks reissued figures. So you're going to get 31 of those, and you're also getting a wagon set. So I don't want you to think you're just getting 21 figures. You're getting some other stuff there. Next week, we have Robert King on. He's a 3D printer. That'll be April 7th, kicking off our April season. And, I forgot to ask you guys the question this week. The question this week to my panel is, what was the first historic site you went to as a kid? I think we're all kind of historians to some degree. That probably got us interested in collecting toy soldiers or playing toy soldiers when we were younger. So I'm going to go around the room real quick. If you can remember, what was the first historic site? I mean, we've all been to like maybe D.C. I'm talking like military, like a fort or museum or something like that, if you can think of anything. Joe, I'm going to start with you. What do you remember?
My family always took a driving trip every summer. My dad would go to a conference, and we'd always hit the historical sites. The first one I remember is all the sites in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Independence Hall.
I don't know if that was the first one. We did Boston. We did Philadelphia. But the Civil War and Revolutionary War sites.
Yeah. Cool. John?
Well, being born in Greece, obviously I went to the Acropolis. That was the first
Oh yeah.
first
See, that's. I mean,
place
I
I
would.
went into. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was
Yeah.
pretty. And I went again a few years ago in 24. I brought the kids there for they've never been. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And we went to actually a lot of ancient sites in 24. Mycenae, ancient Mycenae. We went to oh my God, Olympia. That's the theater at Epidaurus. It's just anywhere you go in Greece, it's like you step on something ancient on some site. It's everywhere, even in the metro. When they were digging out the metro, making the metro, they found ancient artifacts. So it's like they would put them in big glass cases, throughout the metro stations, and
Huh.
it's just crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Seth, how about you, man?
The
Remember?
only thing I think about is I know we went to Tombstone where Wyatt Earp and the OK Corral. And
Yeah.
that's what I remember. That's
the first one, huh?
yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, the frontier. That was it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been there. How about you,
Yeah.
Chris? What you got?
Well, not really historically accurate place, but Six Gun City, when I was a kid, it was in Jefferson, New Hampshire, was kind of like a recreation of the Old West. So we went there a couple times. Really cool. They did like diorama things. They did like little play acting stuff like that. So I mean, I always loved toy soldiers anyway, but just seeing like these Western cowboys all decked out and stuff like that really just spawned my interest even more.
Well, we got El Moro.
Cool place.
Moondoggy said he went to El Moro in Puerto Rico, Spanish Fort. Fort Boonesboro, Kentucky. Ben,
Wow.
that's a good one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Valley Forge for Paul Barbacano, or Brandywine. You went to those two. I'm kind of the same way. I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, so the closest fort to our house was Fort Ligonier, which is right before Fort Pitt in Pittsburgh. You know, it was kind of a stopover for when they were on that trail. You know,
Yep.
in the French and Indian War. So we would go to Fort Ligonier. I mean, it was literally 20 minutes from my house. You know, that as a kid growing up, that was kind of cool, run around the fort and stuff. So, all right, guys. Other than that, any housekeeping that we got to talk about before we bring in our guests? Again,
I think so.
I just dropped my video on the new figures. I had a lot of people critiquing my new figures. Once again, I did not design those. Those are from Toy Soldier Central. So I'm not a historian. That's why I brought up the question about historically correct or what historic sites you went to, because they really picked over my figures. So hopefully you guys are liking these.
Everybody's a critic.
I know they were definitely rivet counting those figures.
Oh yeah.
So, but all right,
He's gonna sell those after your sets are all
yeah,
done, right?
yeah, he's going to sell them individually. Just the 5 figures that I showed in the video that were specifically made for my set, which the rowers, you know, and the flag holders and the officers, they won't be available. So
Dan just came in, popped in, say hello. Hey, Dan.
Hey Dan.
Dan DiBiase?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
The Dan DiBiase.
Right.
Woohoo!
You know,
Dan
speaking of him, let me
died,
show a video. Let me show the video. I haven't shown this in a long time, man. And then we'll bring out our special guest. This was the
Nice.
video of what happens to us after each show.
So embarrassing.
Hello, my name is Carl Butcher. I want to take a moment to speak to you about what happens after each Toy Soldier Tuesday. After the show ends, a crack team of professionals quickly comes in, cleans the hosts, and places them into a cryogenic freeze. Here at this secret location, you'll get a special glimpse of these vaults. Here on level 3, we approach our first vault. In this chamber, we have the diorama master, Seth Nunez. In this chamber, we have the talented Chris Shaw. Behind this door, we have someone who's actually used to the cold, John Salatellis. In this chamber, we have Mr. Knowledge himself, Joe Baker. And that brings us to the creator of this show, the man they call Dr. Evil, the fantastic Paul Knapp. It takes many pros each week to ensure it's all in perfect working order, as we want to provide you the absolute best in entertainment.
Carl, we're all waiting on set.
Thanks. On my way.
We want to thank every single one of our viewers. Without you, this show wouldn't exist. I'm Carl Butcher, and this has been Secrets of Toy Soldier Tuesday. They need to make one of me.
Still never seen that girl in our backstage area.
Never came into my chamber.
I'm not sure where she's at, but hey, maybe these guys know where she's at. This is Alex,
Maybe.
Charlie, and Liam Baldwin.
Hey,
how's it going? How are you? Thanks for having us.
Welcome aboard, guys. How you doing tonight, man?
Pretty good.
Doing
Pretty
great.
good. Glad to be here. Good to be
Hey,
with
man.
the show. This panel's awesome. Love the show. Season 2 is really kicking a lot of butt, so happy to be here.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for
glad to
following
have you.
us. We always see you in the chat rooms, and it's glad to finally get you on. We got somebody hiding off the screen there. What's his problem?
Oh, that's my son.
Hello.
There he is.
He's
There he
here.
is.
The show is Indie Toy Finds. He's gonna
That's
probably
cool,
pull
hey.
it
Yeah, I
out
thought
for
a
you
couple
guys.
things.
That's good. That's good. We met in Chicago this past year, real briefly. You
Yep.
guys were flying around that room, man. You were in and out talking to
Yeah,
Plastic General, and then you were
good,
gone,
yeah.
man. I was like, okay.
We're all about the business. We're there to talk to the gentlemen that run it, and it's really nice to see everybody. But at the end of the day, we're there to get our stuff. So
Yeah, we're just collectors. We don't sell anything, don't intend to sell anything. We just like to buy toy soldiers.
yeah, we've been doing it for a
a
long,
long
time.
time. Yeah.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
with you
how
there.
many years have you been going to the Chicago show?
2016, I think is when we
Yeah,
first.
about 10 years
Yeah.
for Chicago and Indy. We've been collecting probably closer to 35, 33,
Yeah.
35 since the 90s.
So you probably got some of the vintage original stuff from everybody, right? Conte.
Yeah,
and
well, I
Barstow.
mean, a lot of the sort of the Renaissance that came back around in the 90s and 2000s, we hit that heavy. We don't have as much of the vintage stuff. We do have some of it, but certainly that golden era that came in with Richard and Ron and those guys in the 90s, Accurate and all those great companies that made good stuff. That's when we came in. We came in when John Stingle Sr. was reissuing the Mark stuff. Back
yeah,
then,
yeah.
before Hobby Bunker, when it was Excalibur Hobbies, and
Yep.
there was a place in St. Louis called CRM Hobby, which was a local kind of model and hobby shop, and our dad took us there, and we kind of got our feet wet there, and then from there, that was kind of before the internet age, so we did a lot of mail order stuff. We didn't know about the shows at the time, we were just kids. I started collecting when I was about 7.
So what sets did you have when you were 7? I mean, what was popular then?
Well, I mean, I remember some of the sets that I really appreciated in the early days were like Revell sets, Matchbox, Airfix, some of the stuff that was already kind of getting old even then. I was really into that. Essie, I remember some of the very first sets that Charlie and I had were the
Dolcop
Essie.
had some sets out too.
Yeah, we got some Dolcop stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like SE 135th stuff. I remember back in the day, we used to go to this closeout store called Big Lots. You guys may have had it in your area, or maybe you didn't.
Yeah.
But it was a closeout store, and they had SE boxed figures, 14 figures in the box for $1.37. So that's where I got my original American Airborne there. The British Paratroopers. Charlie started his love of Napoleonic with Tempo and SE figures. And obviously, when we started out, we didn't have any money. So we relied pretty heavily on our dad, who really got us into the hobby. It was a thing that he enjoyed when he was a kid, during the Marx era. And so when he got us into it, he bought sets for us. He didn't really buy for himself, but he brought that passion in for us. And then obviously we were able to catch that renaissance that happened in the mid to late 90s into the 2000s, where you had Conti and Barzo, Call to Arms. Armies in Plastic was a really big influence for us when we were kids. So yeah, all that stuff. We're plastic collectors, and I know obviously a lot of guys do painted stuff, but for us, we do unpainted figures. We do large scale dioramas and wargaming and army building. So for us, we have too many figures to paint. I think we have, at current count, we're sitting at around 86,000 figures between the
Wow.
two.
Jeez.
We have
got an Excel spreadsheet.
yeah, I
keeps
track
of them.
everything
It's-
by era and army and set and color down to the nat sass on it, and yeah, we've got
That's a great idea, though.
around
Only way to
86,000.
go. Only way to go. So many.
I know. You know how much you spent on it. You know what it's worth. You know.
I don't want to know how much I spent. I can tell you I'm driving a beat up Volkswagen. And if I had to waste this crap ton of money on soldiers, I would probably have a nice car. So that's all I can say on
These
that
are
front.
nice soldiers, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring everybody in so you can see everybody. We're going to put you guys in the middle. People in the chat room, if you have any specific questions for these gentlemen, go ahead and pull them up or type them in, and I'll pull them up. Our panel, who wants to go first, man? Who wants to pick these guys apart? It's our
Be
first time
easy
on the
on
show.
it. Hey, let me tell you, I was scared as shit coming on here because after the last month or so of the guests you guys have had, you had Evan Ulrichs, you had the Godfather Ron Barzo, War Prince, the Plastic General. I mean, this lineup.
Yeah, we're just collectors. We're
This
not
year's
makers.
lineup.
But see, I like having regular. I like having regular guys like you on because a lot of people are like, they won't come on the show because of that, and then it's like, no, man, I want to see guys like us. That, you know, I know what Joe Baker does with his. I want to see other people. I know what Seth does with his. You know,
yeah.
Well, the only thing you got to risk with us is some unfiltered opinions. We got some opinions on this stuff.
Look at this.
Hey, we're all collectors at heart.
People in the chat room want to see all your merchandise already. We're going to do a room tour
for you guys for 100 shows, quite literally. In fact, my buddy Ricky Cow, I think, is in the chat room. He told me, he said, I got to get granular with it. He said, if you get into all the details, it's going to be overflow, and people are going to just lose interest because it's going to be too much shit. So,
it gives us a reason to bring you back on for another episode.
That's right, another 10 episodes. Right?
Okay, I'll break the ice. Let me break the ice real quick.
Go ahead, Seth.
Gentlemen. Okay, between both of you, which is your favorite brand is your favorite brand of toy soldiers?
Ooh. Oh, damn.
Okay, that's all hard.
That's really tough. And you know,
one
Seth, that's a tough question to answer because I've got some of my toy soldier maker friends watching this show, and I do not want to hurt feelings, so I may have to plead the fifth on that.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many guys.
What do you think we have the most of? Which manufacturer? Probably Mark's Recast.
Mark's Recast or
Mark's
Armies in Plastic.
Armies,
Just because the thing about them is, you know, you got to keep in mind we do wargaming and army building, so we don't paint our figures. So it's nice to have when a manufacturer makes them in a lot of colors, and you can use the different colors for different units.
Yeah, that's
So,
cool.
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I love Conti, I love Barzo, I love TSSD. Marks, Airfix, Matchbox, the new Russian makers, particularly the St. Petersburg Mafia, as they are affectionately called. I like those guys. I like Mars. You know, some of the 3D print stuff that's coming out is really freaking amazing. It's hard to say. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Okay.
So. I mean, maybe not answer that.
How about favorite era though for collecting?
Yeah, I'm just going to ask that.
No.
Okay. You want to go first, Charlie? Because
Okay.
it's different.
Yeah,
we collect together, but we have different emphasis.
The reason why we have as much as we do is we kind of collect different things separately, and then there's some we kind of come together on.
Yeah.
He's World War II all the way.
Yeah,
'cause
that's my
the thing
main.
itself.
That's
And
my main.
I got
thing.
started off actually. What got me into toy soldiers was American Civil War first, and then Napoleonic. I don't even know how many Napoleonic soldiers.
He's got about 26,000 plastic 132 and 130 scale.
A lot of those are
That's
customs.
the
too,
biggest
that I've
single
done.
army we have. I just checked on the spreadsheet. It's Napoleonic French, but you got to keep in mind though when he does it, he's got all the eras. He's got the early Revolutionary period. He's got the bicorns, the different Shakos, and so even though it's 6,000 figures, he wouldn't use them all at once. But yeah, my main ones are World War II. After that, I would say World War One, imperialism. We both like Vietnam and Korea.
Yeah.
We do ancients and medieval. He's more into the ancient. I'm more into the medieval. As far as my favorite era of medieval, it's probably Dark Ages Britain. But I love the Crusades, love the 100 Years' War. He dabbles in English Civil War, 30 Years' War, a lot of the wars of the 18th and 19th century. He does Alamo, 1812. We do a lot of sort of the European wars like Franco-Prussian, Crimean. Basically, if it's a military conflict and they make it in plastic, chances are we either have it or we have something to bullshit for it.
I did want to answer one of the Patrick's question about the army building. That's kind of more of a term used for action figures, which I'm an action figure collector guy too from the 80s, GI Joe, Transformers, all that. That's when you buy more than one of a figure. So like we typically won't buy necessarily one set. If it's something that we really like that we think we could use, we'll buy multiple sets so we have more soldiers on the battlefield. Now that's more important when you're doing like Napoleonic Wars compared to World War II. But
right,
we like to have
wars with
multiple
large mass troops. But we like to build units, so a lot of our collecting is very tactile in nature. That's why, for example, fragility of figures is more important to me. I don't like when figures are fragile, because rather than people who paint them and put them on a shelf and put them in a diorama, we literally get them out, we separate them into units, we set up a battlefield, and we roll it out with dice. Every era we do has a set of dice rules based on the era, the tactics, the weapons. And so, yes, you could say we're diorama guys, but really all the pictures I post on like Facebook, they're actually battles in place. So the one that maybe we'll show you later, I've got an Eastern Front battle right now set up. It's on a table. It's about 12 by 6. It's in the room that we're in right now. And if my shoddy camera work allows, I'll show you that. But we have so much stuff to show you that I'm kind of scared to talk too much, because I've got
let's get to it then.
Well, you guys answered my question then.
And this is just the stuff at his house. My house is a whole different thing.
Correct. So Charlie's got it, and that would be good for a Monday show if you guys ever need a guest for that. He's got all the 70s and 80s action figures, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, GoBots, He-Man, and then new versions too. And when I say he's got a,
you have the Superpowers line.
Yes,
yeah, me too. Yeah, Secret Wars and Superpowers.
I just recently picked up the Lexor vehicle. Didn't have the kryptonite, so I got it on eBay and got the kryptonite piece because I didn't know it had that on there.
Yeah, he's got a really
a little green gem thing, right? Yeah,
I didn't know that because I didn't have that originally as a kid. So,
and
then the last one I got was Cyborg. He was pretty expensive.
Oh, he's tough.
I got a remake of him, not the original one, but somebody on Etsy had one for reasonably priced, and it was in package. I'm like, I'm going to pull the trigger on that because the regular one is just too much.
Ridiculous.
It is, yeah. It is.
So, guys,
okay, Chris and Charlie can have their own show, and then the rest of us will talk about toys.
Guys, when you set something up, you're just thinking wargaming, or like never just setting up a diorama just to like take pictures, or it's always with a mind of
rolling it out.
Usually, now I will like if I get new stuff, like for example when we got the Toy Soldier Central and Plastic General figures that Christian did. We got those at Chicago. I set up a small Battle of the Bulge scene, and it was out in the garage. And so we didn't roll it out. But in general, yes, if I set it up, I intend to roll it out. We will do small displays just to show off new stuff we get. But, I hate to set something up and see how awesome it looks and then not be able to roll some dice over it. Like part of it for me is the war game. And we do it collaboratively. Like you could obviously do one person controlling one side and another person controlling
it's not competitive.
No, we just do it. It's fun. We get down here. We have a beer or two, chat, roll some dice, and just have fun with it. And
play with our figures.
Now, you guys go to conventions too?
For fun. You're just
so what was that, Chris?
You guys go to conventions and do that too?
No, we kind of keep it in house. I mean, we'll invite.
It's a lot to take. We get the accessories, and we don't want to break anything.
We'll invite friends over if if somebody's in town. If you ever come to St. Louis and you want to come see our stuff, we will happily do that. But in general, we're kind of private and just do it for our own enjoyment, really. To be honest.
I know some of those war gamers too. I know some of the war gamers. They're pretty serious about their stuff. Like it has to be painted and it has to be.
Oh yeah, we're not snobs on scale or like painted versus unpainted. We just want to have figures and have a good time.
Yeah, I mean there are limits to my scale appreciation. If it gets way too big or way too small, I have to draw the line. But in general, if it falls between 54 and 60-ish millimeters, it's going to go on the battlefield. Like for example, this Russian front battle I've got now, I've got plastic platoon figures on here. There's Airfix and Mars, which are slightly smaller. So like I don't get real worried about the scale. I actually am more concerned personally with the fragility of the figures and the color. I know that sounds crazy. If you're a painted guy, you paint your stuff, you don't give a shit about the color. But for us, like I'll have multiple of a set in different colors and I'll use it for different units. Like for example, the Airfix British, I may have them in tan. I'll use them as UK. I might have them in green and use them as Anzacs or Canadians. Or so we use different colors to represent different units.
It gives more variety.
Yeah, and we build our units around that. Now, if it is a set that comes in, let's say for whatever reason, just a god awful color, like for example the Italy World War II figures,
You got to paint those.
which
'cause
for
they come
some
in
reason they
tan.
decided to do them in the shittiest tan you can imagine. I had to solid paint those because they're Eastern Front figures. They look terrible in tan. So I painted the Russians in green and brown and the Germans in a gray, like that. But in general, we don't paint our figures. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind doing it, but I don't have enough lifespan left to paint that. I mean, I'm 40, and I figure if I tried to paint everything we had, I wouldn't get through half of it. So.
Oh, wow.
No.
Now, terrain and vehicles, I don't mind those being painted. And I also don't mind using occasionally, like, for example, if you've got Forces of Valor or 21st century toys, tank drivers that are fully painted, I'll put them in
Britons.
there. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I don't focus on it. In general, we're plastic guys, but we do have a little bit of metal stuff, not the premium stuff. King and Country, for example, is great stuff. It's too big for me, and it's too expensive.
Expensive too.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to do mass wargaming with King and
No,
Country,
that's not the way to
then
go.
you're going to need to be Elon Musk.
Yeah.
You're not going to have
or Seth Nunez.
You're not going to have a battle. Some of the battles
too.
He may do a battle with 1,000 or 1,500 figures on one side, not counting the other side. So I mean, this is really, especially for the older wars like the Napoleonic and Civil War, this is mass troop stuff. I'm talking tons of figures. And this World War II set I have now is probably, I don't know, it's probably close to 1,000 figures on this table. It's too many. I've got way too many on there. In fact, the Russians are set up like it's a World War I battle.
We would never set up all of one army. The reason why we have so many is for certain battles and certain eras and things. If you look at World War II, and you guys know this, you've got certain fronts,
right?
Early war, late war. We try to get armies to field for all of that.
Exactly. I've got about 4,000 plastic Germans, but you'd never use them all in a battle. You're not going to use the Afrika Corps in Battle of the Bulge. You're not going to use winter troops in southern Italy or Sicily. So, that's the thing. When you're doing army building, you use what you think is appropriate for whatever it is you're doing. And sometimes we'll stretch it. Like if you start doing really obscure battles or wars, you have to kind of get a little loose with it. Like Charlie and I did it was about a year ago. We did a 7th Russo-Turkish war battle, which you guys probably don't even know, but they made Basevich sets about it. There was a Turk set and a Russian set, and the war took place between 1789 and 1792, so right before the Napoleonic Wars. And we were pulling in, for example, 7 Years' War, Prussian tricorn troops as Russians. And
we try to get
creative. You got it. Yeah, you have to have there's some conflicts if you're doing them just because of the nature of the limitations of what's available, where you kind of have to get creative. We try not to go too far with it, but we're willing to do that. We'll go there for sure.
Hey, Charlie, I got a quick question.
Battles as well?
Yeah.
Chris, what was your question?
I asked if they did cavalry battles as well.
Yeah,
Charlie has a ton of Napoleonic cavalry. I mean, hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds. He has so many French cavalry that it's embarrassing.
Yeah, he makes fun of my Napoleonic army.
But
you've got to have a lot of troops to those battles. And it's different uniforms, different campaigns.
Yeah.
I get kind of nerdy on it.
He goes really deep. You should see his Napoleonic Austrian army. I'm scared to say it, but I think it might be the biggest in the world. He's got all the eras. He's done head conversions.
Yeah,
he's got light infantry, grenadiers.
I mean, is the head conversions. Like I'll take the Tempo Blucher head, the bicorn hat, cut that off, and make Prussians from 1806. Yeah, so I try to do some custom, mainly just head conversions to get different troops and things. I do that with some of his World War II guys.
Yep.
And it's pretty easy. How I do that is I just take a Dremel, drill a hole in the head and in the body, and you can get these little pins. And I just put the pin in the body, snap it, put the head on with a little bit of glue, and then sometimes paint over it. But it works really good for just a basic head conversion, and it really spices things up.
And you can do all kinds of stuff with that.
If you don't mind cutting into your figures.
You
I
oughta
I wouldn't do that with like any of the Russian stuff.
Right, the premium stuff you got. I draw the line. Like, if it's plastic platoon or something, I'm not likely to cut into it. It's just too damn expensive. I just can't.
The TSSD guys do good head swaps.
Show them this one.
Yeah.
So this is a project that we're currently working on. Before we get into showing you all the stuff, this is a Harlem Hellfighter that Charlie's working on, and when we're done, he'll paint the head to match the body of the Armies in Plastic figure. So this is an Armies in Plastic 2nd Series Doughboy. It is a X-Force Zulu unmarried head and a Adrian helmet from the French World War I set. And he's he's going to make about 20 or 30 of those, and then he'll paint the heads to match the bodies.
Yeah.
So we don't paint the full body. We do solid coat
just to match it. Yeah.
But yeah, he does all kinds
one
of stuff.
color.
Yeah.
And that will go good with Evan's World War I guys, which
which we are looking forward to. Evan Ulrichs, you're our friend. We appreciate you. He's a great guy, really good guy.
Hey, Charlie, backstage, you said you were a school teacher?
Yeah, I've been teaching history for 25 years. So
I was just wondering, you're a history teacher, probably.
Yeah, world history. And
do you ever incorporate this with teaching?
I do, but what I do
or?
with it, actually, is the game that our dad taught us, and actually get ready to do it in a couple weeks. World War I trench warfare. We actually got to have the kids set up some toy soldiers and some trench lines and barbed wire with Armies and Plastic figures, and then we'll do the battle with rubber bands. Because when we were kids, that's what we used to do.
Shoot the
rubber bands.
Yeah,
the kids are always reluctant to do it, but once they get on the ground and start playing,
and
they love it.
Then that gives them the understanding of, hey, when you're in the trenches, you're protected. You run out into no man's land, you're dead meat.
Fair game.
Yeah.
We don't do the rubber band rules anymore because we've got too much premium stuff.
Yeah,
it would break my heart if a classic Marx figure or a 3D print or a plastic platoon figure got damaged. So we do dice rules now.
We used to get those big kitchen rubber bands. Those
use
would be
them
our
for the
artillery.
tank shots,
I was good enough.
sniping
I could
stuff.
flip a tank, one of those Timmy tanks. If you hit it on the turret, you can flip it with one of those big rubber bands. I was pretty good at that.
Yeah, and it was always the prone guys that you could never kill.
Oh, yeah,
you can't kill them. They're there
No.
for 10 turns.
No, you put them like
I
behind
use
the
dirt
sandbag.
clods.
They're there forever. It's just
Hey, Joe Baker's been drooling for the last 20 minutes to see your diorama when you said it was 20 foot by what? 12 foot?
Yeah, well, here's the question. I would like to show some of the stuff from Indy and some of our recent acquisitions. You want to start there and then
let's start there and then get a little room.
As long as you show us, Alex and Charlie, as long as you guys show us what you did with the Barzo.
I have that ready. I'll start with that.
You
should mention that. So I'm on the Barzo fan page. And I've been kind of going through and looking at unpainted terrain in our collection. And I realized recently that if it's unpainted, we don't tend to put it on the table. For whatever reason, if it's unpainted, it's like shunned. So I'm going through and I asked the Barzo group, I said, guys, should I paint some of this terrain to make it better? And everybody's like, yeah, do it. So anyway, we had the Battle of New Orleans readouts from the playset that we've had for years. And I decided to paint them. So here they are.
Oh, nice.
Okay, right. Can you see that?
Nice.
I'm glad you like the photos I sent you. Good. You did. What an awesome job, man.
Yeah, and what I did differently.
Fantastic.
One of the comments that was responding to you, John, was that the grass needed to look more dead because it was January.
Yeah.
So I did that. I actually dry brushed the grass with like a tan color. To kind of make it look like it wasn't, fresh and new. There's one piece, and then here's the other one, finished product.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh shoot!
I got to do that.
Right. Yeah, the key with it, you just have to be patient.
What a difference it makes.
A lot of it is
I
just
guess,
attention.
wow.
It's not hard to paint it, but it's attention to detail. It's the stuff like
the dry brushing and inking that.
Right, the rope and the little straps on the canvas and all that stuff.
So that's the most. It looks like the hardest part of the thing, like the not the.
Yeah, so here's how I did that. I just painted. I used mostly acrylic paints, and for the canvas, I painted in a apple butter light tan.
Okay, yeah.
And then from there, I did the straps in Citadel Graveyard Earth, which I think now they call it a different color, Agrax Earth Shade or something like that.
Okay,
I forget
yeah.
what color it is. And then I gave it a wash in sepia to get that
sepia
that
wash. Okay, all right.
weathered look. Yeah. And then for the Gavians, I started off with like a brown gray color as a base, which was real
Yeah.
dark. But then I dry brushed it with like a desert yellow, which is a tan with a lot of yellow in it to
Yeah.
give it that look. And then the wood's real simple. That's just a dark brown dry brushed with a tan. It's really,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's
it.
not that
That's
many
fantastic.
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it is just patience.
I
and a
gotta
lot of
get. I
times-
gotta get to mine. I gotta get to mine.
What I do is I have a large classic rock record collection, so I'll pull out Beatles and Led Zeppelin and Kinks albums, and I'll throw them on the turntable, and I'll just sit there and paint for fun. It's a hobby.
Yeah.
I don't do figures, but I do terrain or here's some other pieces that I got at the show. These are Form Tech pieces.
Oh yeah, I
I
remember.
got
remember
a
those,
really
yeah,
good
yep.
deal at Indiana, and I'm going to give them the same treatment. Once I get some time, I'm going to paint them the same color scheme as what those other ones are. So
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
And they could go for Revolutionary War or Civil
Oh,
War.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can use
Yeah.
Yeah.
quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, we try to get stuff that can be used in, what's best is things that can be used in World War II or all the way back to Civil War.
Right.
We look at that, accessories and a lot of trees and things that
Yeah.
you can use for really any battle.
We have about 2 or 3 9-foot shelves full of trees. We're talking, deciduous trees, pine trees, palm trees, jungle trees. We have literally a ton of trees.
Hey, those Christmas Village trees come in handy.
You can use them. And speaking
Oh,
of
yeah.
which, going back to Ron, he was mentioning that there was an unreleased Barzo tree that he wanted Ken to release for LOD.
Yeah.
I have one of those guys.
Go on.
Yep,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got that at Chicago last year from my friend Rich Egan.
Oh yes.
And I just would like to go ahead and say, if Ken is listening or sees this program, I agree. This tree should be mass produced and
Make
available.
Yep.
It is an excellent piece, and I want more of them.
I think we all say that.
You want to show the Beast Productions Mexicans? So another thing that came up when Ron was on the other day was the unreleased Barzo Mexican infantry. For
yeah,
the
yeah, yep.
right.
Yep.
You remember that was mentioned. So we have them in plastic. We actually, I think, might have some in metal.
Yeah,
too.
I brought the plastic ones to show you guys.
Here they are. Right there's one of the guys.
Of that
Pretty
color.
cool guy. Here's another pose, standing firing.
Now, who has the molds for those?
Well, I think they're not available anymore, but they were produced by Beast Productions,
Yeah,
which
Ed
was
Boris.
Ed Boris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And-
remember. Yeah, I'm good friends with Ed. Yep.
and I think it was just kind of a short run thing. Here's a kneeling pose, firing,
Wow, that's a good pose.
right? And then there's a guy charging here. There's that fellow.
And you didn't paint those, right? That's the color it came
No,
in.
this is
these are
yeah, and there's a
plastic.
drummer, which I don't know what the deal is with this guy. If he was part of the set, I guess he was. He's part. Yeah, I don't know. There's about 5 or 6 poses.
This guy's
6. Oh yeah, this is
Yeah,
a different
shooting up
standing
at the
shooting.
wall.
This guy's shooting. Oh shoot.
So these guys are Alamo Mexicans, but honestly, guys, I bought them for French line infantry.
Charlie's all when
Yeah.
he sees Shaco hat Mexicans, like for example, the Conti
Yes,
Shaco
the Conti
hats
dark
that
blue.
Evan's looking
I'm
for.
sorry, Evan.
Charlie bought them all. Sorry,
I-
Evan.
yeah, I got
He
Those
bought
are
'em
great
all.
figures.
Oh my god. So
Yeah.
let's see, what else can we show you? Well, I got so much stuff. Let me show you some of the terrain that I got at Indy. So this one I'm gonna ask you guys if you know what it is. You probably do, maybe you don't. You guys know this piece? You
The
seen
Connie
this
Church
before?
Wall.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
right, yeah.
yes, it is.
That's
And here's the interesting thing. I have
Set
the full
6,
church-
wasn't it?
I think it was in the church playset, which was that 6 or was that 7? I don't
7
know.
was the Priory. I think Church was 6.
Okay, yes. So this is the wall section, and
Yep.
what's cool about this is obviously it looks like a church wall, but you could just use it as a backdrop for any World War II
Anywhere.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've
yeah, you
got
could.
the I've got the full church and priory playset, which if we have time, I want to show you. Patrick Grain made me some custom tower tops for the church. But this piece I got from Rich Egan at the show for a very fine price that I won't say. And I'm happy to add it to the collection. I also got a couple other pieces, which I thought were pretty neat. My friend Steve Connell gave me this rock formation here
Oh,
It
nice.
Nice.
kind of looks like a Southwest rock, but you could use it for a bunch of stuff. I really
yeah.
like that one a whole lot. And then the other, I got another one of the Barzo Nottingham, the forest trees. This is the smaller of the two. We have 6 of these and 4 of the big ones. I love those trees.
Yeah, those are
The
awesome.
only problem with them is that they're a little bit top heavy. So we're talking about making bases for them so that they don't fall over and
Yeah,
crush
because when
our
we're
figures.
like setting up a battle or anything,
Yeah.
especially we do it on the ground, it's easy to knock those over.
Yep.
But we
And
use
then,
Mark's trees too. Those are pretty flat.
And then this was the other piece I got, and I think this one might be Form Tech.
It is.
Yeah, I think it
part of
is.
the-
Yeah.
Washington Scenic. It looks very similar to the No Man's Land piece that came with
Yep.
their trench, but it's different because it's got these sandbags
Yes,
around it.
you're
So
right.
I thought this would be great for World War One, but you could probably
Pacific?
use it. Yeah, Pacific Theater.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, even World War II. You put a German machine gun there.
Oh yeah.
That's a defensive position. So I got that. Man, there's so much stuff here. I don't even think.
I use that for the
All right,
Peter's
I want to
bird.
show you guys the tanks because I know you guys love tanks. But before I do that, Mike is going to kill me if I don't show you guys the Warhorse miniatures figures, which I got from him at the show.
He's in the chat room right now. So.
And let me tell you, you guys may or may not know this. I'm kind of a skeptic when it comes to 3D print figures. I love the work that everybody's doing. They're doing amazing work. I really think, in particular, 3D print works great for terrain, tanks, accessories like what Brandon's doing. But I've always been a bit skeptical of the figures, and really what it comes down to is the fragility issue. I hate when a barrel breaks on me, and I do believe that in general you want your figures to survive the fall test, which is to say, if it can't fall onto a vinyl floor from 2 feet without shattering, you've got a problem. So, but Mike has pretty much conquered both of my fears about 3D printing, the color and the fragility, with his new sets, and I got a bunch of his stuff here. I'm going to show you. So I got some of his Saxon sets and his World War II stuff. So I don't know if you guys seen the World War II sets yet or not?
Yep.
Yeah.
Paratroopers.
Okay, well, if you've
Paratroopers,
already
yeah.
seen it, maybe it's not worth showing again. But I've got Paratroopers, American Paratroopers set 1 and 2 here, and the German Paratroopers. So let me show you those real quick.
Yeah, his post selection, I thought I'm
Yeah.
not a World War
Let's see.
II guy, and I
Okay,
told
I'm
Alex that
Not good
these
with this camera. so-
American paratroopers were amazing, and they
So-
go.
Now
to
they're
me
pretty
really
flexible,
well.
Alex.
Yes, they're actually. I mean, I wouldn't want to be rough with them.
Right.
But they. I mean, here's the thing. One of my criticisms of the Russian makers is they get caught up in this concept of Hollywood poses. And for a war gamer like me who wants to army build, if you've got a pose that's, let's say trying to hack somebody down with a hedge machete, I look at that pose and I say, this is a one-off pose. It's cool. It's got its uses, but I cannot war game with this. Who wants an American paratrooper trying to hack a German down with a hedge machete? So
Yeah, they do that with some of their sets for sure. There's some useless
Oh,
poses.
there's always at least 1 or 2 poses
many
where you
leaders.
scratch your head and say, "What the hell were they
Russian
thinking?"
flagmen. How many of those do you really need?
Right, and leaders, bazooka guys. I mean, I like a good bazooka guy and whatever, but like it comes to a point where you say to yourself, "How many damn bazookas do I need?" Leaders.
Standing
fit-
guys firing heavy machine guns too. They do a lot
What
of that
I
pose.
love about Mike's set and what really seals the deal for me on it is that it's Garand heavy. So many of the current Russian production stuff, they would have you believe that every guy had a submachine gun or a Sturmgewehr 44,
Yeah.
and it's just bullshit. I mean, in World War II, it was a rifle war, and most of the guys had rifles. So I don't want to see a 7-figure set where there's one rifle. And Plastic Platoon is probably the biggest offender there. But a lot of makers, they just think that everybody's got a submachine gun. And I want to see my American paratroopers with the Garand. That's what they had.
Those
I mean,
are
you're
just
going to
so
watch
darn
some
good.
carbines. So that was set
With the
one.
carbine too.
Yeah,
M1
and I
carbine,
like
yeah.
the carbine, but the problem with the carbine, especially on 3D print, is the barrel is so
Breakable.
thin, you're risking breakage. So this is set 2. I just showed you set 1. This is set 2 I'm showing you now. I prefer set 2. They're both excellent, but set 2's got my favorite guy, which is this fellow right here. Let's see.
Oh, wow.
Prone
I see the
firing
pose.
the Grand. So one of my biggest complaints about a lot of World War II makers is they've got everybody running. And as we all know, with the firepower that was in World War II, if you're running across the battlefield like a jackass, you're going to get shot. And so you really need a lot of guys prone and kneeling, taking cover. That's what you need. And they just, I love this pose. Great.
Yeah,
That's a good pose. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Color.
And
It's
I
great.
say all this to say that I like Mike's Airborne better than I like the Plastic Platoon Airborne. And I'm sure there's a few people in the chat who are going to say you're a crazy person because of the detail of Plastic Platoon. But for me, what seals the deal for Mike's stuff is every pose is useful, and the color is very similar to vintage Marks figures. Like if you have the Battleground GIs, you know what I'm talking about. It's a good color, right? And the pose, there's not a single pose where you look at it and say, this pose is a piece of crap. There's no poses like that. So that was set 2, and let me show you the Germans. Gosh, I feel like I'm burning way too much of you guys this time. We haven't even shown the battle. So there's the German paratroopers. Oh, there he goes.
The test.
He
He's
survived.
He's okay.
That's how you know Mike makes good figures.
Yeah.
That fell 3 feet.
I saw.
It's
Really nice.
It's fine.
what
So
we
we
want.
got that guy. There's a guy standing firing the MP40. Good
That's
pose. Yep. There's no bad poses here.
Yeah, they're
This
really
guy's
cool.
a really good one. He's laying down with the potato masher. He's got the rifle, which is a separate piece. You can have it over his shoulder. You can have it under his hand, whatever you want to do. This guy here is running with the FG-42. Looks like he means business. You got this guy with the rifle. He's
It's
advancing.
a nice color too. He's got.
Yeah, that's the thing too. A lot of the 3D print
And I
stuff,
will leave it like that if you're.
you could paint them and put them on a
But for
shelf.
us, we don't have.
But
paint
I don't have to
these
paint these because these are not in garbage colors. That's one of the things that I'm a little reluctant with a lot of the 3D print stuff. It's monocolor, so that means that when I get the figure, I've got to go through and do more work to get it battle ready. And these guys, I don't have to do that. Here's the MP40 guy.
They come out
kneeling.
nice.
Wow, look
Yeah,
at that.
those are nice.
Yeah, they're fantastic, and I highly suggest that if you guys are interested in that you support Mike. He's doing great work. He's not the only one. There's a ton of great 3D guys
That's
out there.
those are army builder posers too. I mean,
Absolutely.
Every
Yeah,
one of
definitely.
them is
That's
a
why we
guy
liked
you
him.
would
It's like,
want
oh,
more
yeah,
than
you want
one
more
of.
than one of that guy. for
Every
sure.
single one. And while we're at it, let me go ahead and show you some of his Saxons. I don't know. Do you guys like Dark Ages stuff at all, or not really?
yeah, Joe Baker's into that. Heck yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
like
let
it
me show
all.
you.
I'm
We got a
not,
little bit of everything.
I'm not
Yeah,
picky.
I know this is kind of a World War II heavy panel, and I'm respectful of that. But I just want to let everybody know that the plastic is a lot bigger than one war or one conflict. There's so much good stuff out there. So here's some of the other stuff that Mike's done, and this is really good. These are Saxon Huskarls, so they would be elites. And you can see they are
Oh, wow.
fantastic. The detail
That matches Conti guys a little
I
color.
know.
exactly, which I love because I love the Conti Dark Ages stuff.
Yeah.
Particularly Stamford Bridge and all that. I mean,
Yeah, that's a great set.
and he's, by the way, Richard's doing new stuff for Dark Ages.
Yeah.
I talked to him today, and he told me that he's working on Norman cavalry. Which,
Wow.
Finally,
for
we need
those of
that.
us who have
Battle
been
of
wanting,
Hastings.
Battle of Hastings has
Conway.
been one of those battles
Finally.
that we just
Mhm.
couldn't do.
Joe's got it
And
too,
it-
right
gotta
there.
have
Yeah.
It was
Cavalry.
because
They-
of
they
Norman
changed the color.
cavalry, and yep, exactly. Let's see who
Yeah.
else we have. This is my favorite pose here. This guy. Let's see. Yes.
Yeah.
So he's got him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a tan color, Joe?
No, it's yellow.
Okay. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
got mine in like an orangey color and like a burnt. I got two
Yeah.
We
colors,
got
two different colors, but same set.
Again, variety.
But they're not
And then-
fragile either, right?
They're really pretty durable. I mean, again, I wouldn't rough them up, but
Right.
I've had no breakage at all.
Yeah, I'd say they're.
And Mike stands behind his stuff too. So if you have a problem,
Yeah.
he's usually very reasonable to try to replace it. These are Saxon archers.
That's
Really
great.
Those are nice.
They're fantastic figures.
Wow.
Let me show you one more here.
Oh man, you guys are making me break out my wallet here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you.
I think I am too, Joe.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to leave the other 3D guys
Mike will
out.
be in Gettysburg in 20 days. Yeah.
There are so many guys doing great 3D work right now. I'm not trying to leave anybody out. I just so happen to be close friends with Mike, and so I gotta promote his stuff because it's great. It's really good stuff.
Cool.
I guess, man, I feel like we're wasting all of our time. Do you want to see some of the armor that I recently got at Indy? Would you rather see us move the camera around and try? I mean, what?
I want
what
to
do
see
you
your diorama. I want to see.
Yeah,
what
let's see a
you
tour.
It's time.
All
Let's
right.
bust it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
now keep in mind that I'm a shitty cameraman.
I'm gonna
so
get out of the
there's
way.
that.
So
and I don't know how this is going to go. In fact, I'm wondering if I should straighten the screen out.
Probably let Liam take over here, man. He could probably do
Liam,
it.
do you want to do that? Can you without? No, we got to keep the cord in, and we have to make sure that. Okay, so you have to flip it. Now this is the.
If you let Liam do the camera work, you can talk us through it.
All right.
Right
Yeah.
here.
All right. Now you
Oh,
have
if
to
it looks
tell us
good.
what you can see and what you can't see.
Yeah, tell me what you can and can't see.
Angle it down, Liam.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay,
perfect.
now don't drop the can. Okay, so you have shown the long view, if you could.
yeah, the German side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll move out of the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, show them if you could. Show them the Orthodox Church back here, over here. So that Orthodox. The whole reason I set this battle up is
That's the big one. That's the
yes.
big one.
If you remember in the Road to Stalingrad place said that
Yeah.
Ron Barzo did with Nick Versteeg, Toy Soldiers of San Diego. He came with an Orthodox church, and I love the piece, but God help them, it's just too small. It's a tiny church.
Liam,
Actually,
a little
you
bit
showed it
more of an
recently,
angle.
John, in one of the episodes.
Last
I wanted
week,
something that actually looked like a church, and so Patrick Grain, out of the goodness of his heart, took his time to produce me a scale Orthodox church. And when I got
Yes,
that
there you
thing,
go.
it's really big. It's very large, and I had to set up a battle for it. So that was the impetus for this battle. Show them some of the back buildings back here, if you could.
Sure.
So
Liam,
you've
if you can
got-
angle it just a little bit more down.
Okay, yeah. Can you see this area down here?
No,
with the troops.
No. All right there.
Yeah.
Right there. We can.
All right, so all this stuff that you see, a lot of it's Form Tech and CTS. I hand painted that terrain. It came unpainted, and I decided, you know what, it looks better. Here's another one back here. I don't know if you can you see that white building back in the background?
Yeah.
That's a CTS street front that I painted. And there in the very distance is the famous
That's the
Wow.
casino.
casino. You guys know the casino. That's the original one that was sold at Chicago, which I
The
hear
legendary stuff of
there
legend.
there were only 3 or 4 of those that made it out the door.
Yeah. Yeah. That actually made it.
And then over here's some of the Russian front stuff. I don't know, can you see that tank in the foreground there?
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
We see. Tank.
So that is a 1/30th scale JS2 tank, which I got off my buddy Erwin Sell. He was selling some of his armor. And I got that. That thing is a beauty. It was made by a Russian company, but they produced it out of China. And that's a very rare one. And then also, I have to give a shout out to my friend Ricky Cowell, because some of his armor.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, no.
Oh, well, we froze.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
I bet he pulled the plug out of his computer when he was walking around.
That is so cool.
Yeah, that's an amazing setup.
He said that was 20 by 12. Was that what it was?
Can't be 20?
Wow.
Really? Oh, maybe.
20 foot by 12 foot?
I don't know, but it's pretty huge, man.
Pretty intense.
Oh, no.
Oh, don't get stuck. All right, he just left the room. He's going to log back in. Man.
Who hacked
Oh,
It's
yeah,
getting
by the
good
numbers
too.
they're
It's
talking
getting
about.
good.
Let me
Oh, man.
let me see if I can.
Got a lot of stuff.
My God, yeah. You guys, you gotta understand when they buy stuff like they clean them up on the spot in the room if they're staying overnight. They have their X-Acto knife fixing them. They take all the plastic out.
Okay, we're back on air.
Yeah, there we go.
There you
So
are.
that's the reason why I don't control the camera, because bad things happen when you control the camera.
I think your internet plug came out or something.
Yeah, I think that's what happened too. Make sure that stays in. If you could.
Oh, look at that.
All right, can you see the stuff now, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
All
there's
right, here we
a
go.
lot of some of my plastic platoon and Publius stuff is here. On the World War II plastic platoon in general, I have about 2 sets of almost everything, unless it's kind of a useless set. Some of my favorites I have 3 sets of. So I have a ton of the Russian production stuff. It's too expensive, and obviously I would like to see that conflict in Ukraine end. But I do love the stuff they produce. So you
that's
want
good
to
stuff.
get over here and show them the
Yes,
German side over here real quick? Show them.
Yeah, hold the cord.
All right. So, yep.
What do you want me to highlight?
Angle it down so they can see some of the Germans.
Yeah, you're good right there. That's perfect.
Okay, can you see the plastic General SS?
Yep.
Out of the
the white
mold?
ones in back. Mm-hmm.
They got some CTS, Matchbox, TSSD, plastic platoon. You know, it's a mix. I tried to focus and emphasize on winter stuff for this battle because I was going for a winter theme, but I didn't really focus on a specific battle per se. There's the central defenses with the PaK 40, and there's a Tiger tank back there. The Germans are stacked. They have a ton of equipment, but the difference is the Russians have the advantage of a ton of reinforcements. So,
Alex, are any of those buildings your own, or are they all bought?
Well, a couple of them are handmade. Most of them are purchased from U.S. manufacturers and then painted. That one tall building back there in the distance, if you can see it, it's a 3-story. That was actually from a Big Lots World Peacekeepers playset.
Oh yeah.
Which was like a 1/18th scale.
How does that work with a 30?
Well, I mean, the windows and the doors are a little big, but
yeah, they're big. Yeah,
but it works. I mean,
It works.
I mean, you
Works
can
in the
see
scene
figures
anyway,
fit.
yeah.
Yeah, they fit on it pretty good. And then, like I said, some of that stuff is Formtech, some CTS. That's John Salatellis's casino right there. Some of it's Patrick Grain stuff. I mean, it's a mix.
What is that building?
Which one here?
The
This
one
one right
in
here?
front of the church.
White
Oh,
building.
this guy here.
Yes,
That
no.
is,
No,
I
the
believe
white one,
that's
the 2-story.
CTS Coal Scuttle. They did. This is the original one they did.
No, the other building, the
The
2-story building in front of the church.
the TSSD Vietnam building.
This one here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes,
The
it's in
compound,
Vietnam.
yeah.
From the TSSD Vietnam playset.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The embassy, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I've got obviously some of the. I'm caught on the cord. Hold on, you take the computer for a second. Let's go show them the other room real quick, if we can, without me tripping on the cord. So, guys, I'm going to take you into the other room in the basement here. We actually, a lot of the battles we do are in my 4-car garage, but right now the garage is kind of creeping in.
Wow.
We got a
That looks
band.
like my basement.
We got the band set up.
Yeah.
Ah,
Beautiful.
Play the drums, John.
I do. I've been playing since the
I think
early
you're a
80s.
guitar guy, man. Why was I thinking you're a guitar guy?
My son's a guitar guy, not
Okay.
not me.
Who's
David
your favorite
can
guitarist,
put it
John?
here.
My favorite guitarist. Wow. Jeez. I want to say maybe Richie Blackmore.
Real? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big David Gilmour fan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Eddie Van Halen.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say Van
yeah.
Halen, John. It's Van Halen for
You know,
me.
it's like, you know, if you go by era, you know, like
Yeah.
So
The guy
next
from
month,
Journey's pretty good too.
Some people
Neil
say
Sean,
Jimi
yeah.
Hendrix.
Yeah.
Hendrix, yeah. Going back, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Clapton.
Okay, we're back.
I
Oh, there-
apologize. This cord keeps getting loose from the laptop, and that's causing an issue. But I wanted to show you guys some more stuff here, if I can.
Yep.
So, can you, Liam? You control the camera if you could.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Conte,
Okay, so you guys know this. That's the Conti Church and Priory. But what I
Yeah.
really wanted to show you was show the top of it. So this is the original piece that came with it, and I love this piece. But you know, with the parachute on it, you're basically dealing with St. Mary Glees. That's about all you can use it for.
Yeah.
So I had my buddy Patrick Grain again come through and make me some alternate church tops. So you've got one here. Let me see if I can get in there. Here we go.
Undamaged.
So yep, there's the undamaged one. And then if it takes a tank or an artillery shot, you can pull that out. And
here's the
you've
damage.
got,
Wow.
yep, you've got a battle damaged one for a sniper.
It is so
Yeah.
cool.
That's cool.
Yep.
Patrick,
And
you
then
and I-
another interesting story. A few years ago at Indiana, I got the first 2 Conti Zulu playsets from Steve Connell, and he gave me a really great deal. But the chapel was actually missing the roof, so I had Patrick make me an alternate roof for it. There
Wow.
it is.
That's
And
just
I
looks
said to him, I
great.
said, Patrick, what if I
Perfect.
wanted to use this church, let's say in the for a Philippines World War II battle? Can you make me an alternate roof that I could use for a more modern period? And because he's a wizard,
and of course he did.
he did just that.
Oh
there
my
it is.
God. Look at
Yep.
that.
Wow.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
Patrick's the master
also
craftsman.
the bar.
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, before.
So here is also, while we're at it, there's the
Wow.
Oh, we lost it again.
Barzo. That's a giant Barzo one.
There's
That's
a
the large
ship.
one, right?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, he's still there. Internet's not. Seth, how we doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good, man.
Hey, Seth, you got to send me those pictures, brother.
Oh yeah, I will, Chris. I was out of town over the weekend, and
No hurry.
yeah, I was out of the town. I was out of town.
There we
I came
go.
back.
Sorry,
Sunday.
guys.
Yeah.
It's the cord is the issue. Okay, so I'm going to show you just a couple more things here, and then we'll go back and sit down where we can't screw this up. Hold on 1 second. Do you see the ship there?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
the Barzo
yeah.
pirate ship that went with the Treasure Island. And then we've got some of, but not all of our Barzo sets back here. We have another probably 4 or 5, but this is Tripoli, Aztecs and Conquistadors. You've got Bushy Run, Braddock's Defeat, Cherubusco, New Orleans, Treasure Island, and the ship. In addition to that, we've got Yorktown, Civil War Camp. I've got Road to Stalingrad. There might be 1 or 2 more. The ones I'm looking for, actually, if I can get a hold of them, maybe you guys know somebody. I'm looking for the Zorro play set because I want that. And then
You said that's super rare, yeah.
yeah, and Charlie's looking for the Daniel Boone and the Boonesboro fort at some point.
That's a nice
All
fort,
right.
yeah.
We're going to come back down and sit down so that we can't screw this up anymore. And my apologies. Thank you for being patient with our technical.
Somebody was asking in the chat room, what's the shirt you're wearing? With the
Oh,
figure?
yeah. Let me show you that, actually. That one was given to me by Ken from LOD.
Oh, Ken Sack.
Oh,
Yep,
nice.
and it says, "Oh yes, tell me all about your toy soldier collection." It's got a lady and a French fuse.
That's cool.
I love this shirt. I actually wore it to Indy. I got that one. I also have a McShawn's Closet T-shirt, which I
yes.
wear.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Do you guys have a few more minutes for me to show you some armor,
Yeah.
a few other things, or are we?
My
Yes,
medication
yes.
doesn't kick in till like 9:30, so I'm good.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I'll be honest with you. We could go for another 10 hours. I won't torture you with all that.
Let's do the armor, these 2 figures.
Oh, Liam wants to show
Then
his
questions.
2 favorite.
Hey,
toy
yeah, we
soldiers.
got to ask Liam some questions here. You've been hogging this.
Yeah.
out.
Come on in, Liam. This is
You know
my
what?
son.
Hey,
I
Liam,
don't know.
what is your favorite era of collecting?
I do a mix of World War II and Napoleonics. I have a decent amount of both.
Yeah.
And at Indy, I've got 2 soldiers that I would like to show here.
Yeah.
Here's one of them.
Nice.
We found this one in a loose bin. I'm pretty sure it is a Basovich figure.
Yep,
Basovich,
that's
yeah.
Engineer Basovich, 1940 Russian from one of their very earliest sets.
Yeah.
It was
Nice
an
pose.
8-figure set. Yep, and he's got the Adrian helmet. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
With the star.
Yep.
That was given to me for free, and Liam was like, "I want that," so I gave it to him.
Yeah.
I begrudgingly gave this up because
Yeah.
Good choice, Liam.
Basovich figures are like gold to me, especially certain sets. But and then show him the other one you got.
Here's my second one. I also found this one in a loose bin. This one would be
Barzo,
a
yeah.
Barzo Masters.
Yeah.
Mexican-American War. This would be a 02 Masters, as shown by the base. I'm not sure you can
So
see it well.
that's an American regular from the Barzo set, but it's a metal master. And Rich Egan gave that to Liam, which
Yeah.
was a very,
Oh,
very
that's cool.
Wow.
dude.
Nice.
Rich is such a good guy.
It's a nice figure.
He also got some Untouchables accessories. I think they're recast, but they're still incredible. They're
Yeah.
really,
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool.
Now, is Basovich out of production?
No, they're not. It's just it's like a lot of the Russian stuff. We can't.
It's rare and it's not easy. To
We
get.
can't really get it because there's basically, from what I understand, a lot of those guys they produce using material that they get from the United States,
Yeah.
and so that material is under embargo, which means when they get it, they're paying a premium to get it, and then they're selling it back to us. Obviously, I mean they got to make a profit, so it's just become tough. I would love to see that conflict ended. I feel really bad for all the folks affected by that. But yeah, it's definitely had an impact on the hobby, especially with the Russian and Ukrainian manufacturers.
I'm
Hey,
going to answer a question from Ronald in chat. This is a metal Masters figure.
Yep.
From
Ron was
the
actually
02.
talking about that. I think
Yeah,
last
he
week.
was
some of
last
the
week.
metal masters.
Yeah.
So-
Hey, Liam.
Yeah.
When your dad and your uncle battle against each other, who normally wins?
Depends on the day. If it's a Monday, then Dad's winning because Uncle gotta go to school and it's a Monday. But if it's the weekends, then Uncle got in the bag.
Oh yeah.
Show your armor.
All right, so I guess I'm going to show you guys. So I've been trying to legitimize my Soviet armor recently. And I'm actually going to try to get some of the war print stuff. I really like to. I haven't gotten a chance to yet. But I've been going back and getting some of the old stuff from 10 or 20 years ago that I didn't have. So I'm going to start off showing you some of the stuff I got at Indy. And then I want to show you some of the new Russian armor I got. So this is all stuff I got at the Midwest Toy Show. Here we have a Persian tank.
Yeah.
That's Forces of Valor. It's in that green and brown camo scheme.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
it's a
know a
beautiful
lot of
tank.
folks, it's a beautiful tank, and it's really solid. A lot of people will say, well, hey, that's not that useful for World War II because they didn't see that much action. But I was thinking Korea for this bad boy.
Yeah.
So anyway, that I was happy to get that.
Can you bring
I
me?
also got this really beautiful Mark
Can you bring
IV.
me the wire so I can charge the laptop because the battery's running out?
So there's a Mark IV-G, and I think the interesting thing, I don't know if you guys can see the symbol on it, but it's almost got a little bit of a Holy Roman Empire / Austria vibe. I don't know what the meaning behind the symbol is, but I was drawn to it. I just thought it was really badass.
Is that Forces of Valor?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's Forces
Yeah,
of
I
Valor.
thought so.
And
Yeah. I have that
I've got
tank too. Yeah.
I've got a bunch of Mark IVs, but you just can't go wrong with Mark IVs. So I always get them. And then I've also got this here is a Scots Gray Sherman tank.
Yeah.
From the Italian theater, and it's got that weird dapple paint scheme on it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know a whole lot about the Scots Greys service in the Second World War. They were a cavalry unit up until 1941. And then they were at the start of the war, they were patrolling, fighting Arabs in Palestine. And then they were called to join the 8th Army. And then later on, they fought in Italy and in Northwest Europe as well. So that's a pretty cool one. I didn't have that one before. I had to get it. And then I also got this Kubel wagon here.
Nice.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Kubel wagons. And honestly, I don't have that many of them, to be honest. I've got probably 12 or something boxes of armor from all the different countries. But Kubel wagons are in short supply, so I couldn't say no to that. And then this is a late war Hanamag with a 75 in it, like an anti-tank.
Yeah.
That's a beauty. Yeah, that's another Forces of Valor. Really, really
I was
nice.
looking to buy that. I was looking at that this week.
Yeah, it's a
Didn't
really
they make
nice
that in like a tan color too?
Well, yeah, different colors, but that one's
Yeah.
a more rare one.
Yeah, I
That's
think
the
that
rare
one
one.
it's meant for like 1945 Czechoslovakia or something.
Yes,
like that.
yes.
Yeah.
correct.
I think
I
it
have
comes
it in
with
like
a
a
couple
light
like
tan.
jumpers too. They come with some jumpers coming out.
The jumper on the I think the winter one.
Yeah.
On Forces of Valor.
And then, like
Yeah,
I
sure.
said before, my Russian armor was pretty lackluster. In the old days, I really kind of relied on the CTS stuff, and I love the CTS stuff. But as you guys know, it's a little underscaled. So I'm trying to bring my Russian armor up to something decent. So this is a recent T-34-85 I got.
Beautiful.
And so now I've got 5 T-34-85s. They're all in different color schemes.
And that's
I thought
Forces of
that was
Valor too.
cool. Yep, that's Forces of Valor. And then I also got 3 of this W. Britain's T-34-76. And they've got different markings on them, but they're all in the green scheme.
Yeah.
Those are really cool. It's actually similar to the one you showed, John, just the other week.
Yeah, I was gonna say
They
John
have
showed
four-
one the other
They have
day.
4 variations. The camo one. There's a green. There's a white for winter.
Yes.
And there's one more. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all good. I'd like to get some of the white and the camo. And then
Yeah.
other
Very,
thing
very nice.
that I got is I missed this first time around. I don't know how I did, but the Forces of Valor KV-1 tank.
Yes, I'm looking at that too. Very expensive.
They are
Yeah,
expensive.
I picked that
but
up.
I got 2 of them for really good deals, and I got them within about a week's time. So
Really?
they are gettable. I highly recommend them. What's cool about this tank is that you can use it in earlier periods of the war. That was the heavy tank in the early period, and you can carry it into the later era too. It's just a really great piece. And then I guess while we're at it, let me go ahead and show you. You guys know about Finley stuff, right? The 3D print.
Yep.
Yeah.
I at Chicago last year, I bought some of their terrain, and I love their terrain. But again, it comes in that gray color, so you're required to paint it. I mean, it looks like shit if you don't. There's one of the sandbag bunkers. Seth, I think you did some of these as well.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the sandbag bunker, and I did use the same technique I used on the canvas bags for the New Orleans. And then this is that. Bunker. Yeah, it's got a removable roof, although mine doesn't really remove very well. And then here's the other one that I did.
Yeah.
So
Did a great job on them.
I like painting terrain. I just don't have the time to paint all my figures. So that's kind of
the patience.
Yep. Charlie, do you want to show those couple figures?
Yeah.
Show that.
So,
Hey, you said you had a figure that you weren't sure who the maker was?
yeah, let me dig that out. Well, Charlie actually wants to show you guys a couple things that he got up there real quick, and I'll dig that figure out and show it.
Okay.
Well, I'm 7 years older now. Like I was actually born in the late 70s. And in the 80s, as you guys know, there weren't a lot of toy soldiers available. I mean, you had Timmy Toys, NPC. I mean, the Mark stuff was hard to get. But in 1986, Mattel made a painted toy soldier line called Guts. And I don't know if you guys...
yeah, I have them.
And
Yeah.
I've got a couple at the Romney Toy Shop, which is really close to Lafayette, Indiana. I got a couple Guts sets in box here.
Nice.
Yeah, and these were the two I was looking for them. So the ground troops, and I only paid $20 for that, which I thought was a pretty good deal. In box there, and it's got.
They made a cool V too.
Yeah, because you got the characters and stuff. So because I'm
Are
a
there
big
bases on those or no?
No bases.
No bases for them. I think I've got one loose. I can show you. And then the other set,
They did a bunch of variations of sets too.
Yeah, there's like 6 different sets. The two that I got was the regular Army soldiers, and this year is the Jungle Fighters set.
Oh yeah.
And, I remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I think of it, I do remember those. Yeah.
Toys R Us used to have those. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a few of them as a kid, and then what they look like, because I have them individual. They look like here. So they don't have a base, but they're fun to play with, and they're pretty durable. And like I told you guys, I'm got an 80s action figure guy. They're more toy soldiers than action figures, but Mattel made them, and they're a lot of fun. It's something to collect and look at. So.
All right, so that mystery figure I was telling you guys about, and I'm sure one of you guys probably knows what it is, but here it is.
Is that Marks, maybe?
It doesn't have any insignia on the bottom. I was wondering if it was Benton or one of those other makers. It looks like a
Warner,
Doughboy.
maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Is it rubbery? Is it rubbery or is it plastic?
It's plastic.
I would have said
it's
Auburn,
about
but no.
60 mil. Could be Auburn. I don't know. But if you guys know what it is, let me know.
Joe? No good.
I bought him because I'm always looking for World War I stuff. In fact,
Doughboy. That's what it looks like.
One of the things that Charlie and I are looking for, if any of you guys know somebody who's got them, is in the 80s, they did the Warriors of the World World War I figures in solid plastic.
Yeah,
I got in some of the sets. If you guys know somebody who has those and is willing to pass with them and let them go to a new home, we're looking for those. So,
Mike Prender,
I have a few, but not willing to pass.
I get it. We're trying to boost our World War I numbers, as you know. World War I's an era that doesn't have a whole lot of makers. Obviously, with the loss of Tony this year, it was a huge loss. We were friends with him, and the work he did on World War I was absolutely huge. We're excited about what Evan's going to do. We really hope that the collectors support the World War I, and that becomes, obviously it's never going to be as big as World War II, but I would like to see it get some kind of love because it was a very significant conflict. It was really important in the developments that happened in since then.
Tony was the first guy that kind of reached out to us when we were kids. That would call us on Saturdays and talk to us about sets and actually consult with us because
he actually valued our opinions.
And we talked to for hours.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and he told me he had a lot of sets that were not produced. And I'll tell you one set, and him and I disagreed on this, but I said, Tony, you need to make some Napoleonic Shako Austrians. And he said, Charlie, I can't do that because Italy already makes them. I said, but Tony, but those are helmeted and they look different.
Yeah.
So he never made those. He made the other sets and things. And he said he had molds for all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping his son Paul, takes over and produces some of those unproduced sets that Tony had, supposedly molds for, because he said he did.
I'd love to see some World War I Austro-Hungarians, maybe some Gallipoli Anzacs. Yeah, he had some Dark Ages stuff that never saw the light of day. I mean, the thing about Tony's figures, a lot of people say, well, hey, the detail isn't as good, but the playability. If you want that out of the playset feel, multiple colors and just good figures you can play with and not be afraid they're breaking, he was king for that. He did really great work, and he made sets in eras that people were scared to touch.
Right.
He did.
Anglo-Sudan War and Boxer Rebellion.
Yeah, he loves
stuff. All kinds of
Egyptians.
stuff. They were scared. Other makers were scared to touch it because they're like, well, this isn't going to sell. And he had sort of the opinion of, if I like it, somebody's going to like it.
Yeah,
and
he's
I
really
appreciate
cool.
that.
We miss him a lot. He's a great guy.
So, well, hey, I'm going to bring everybody in here, and we do have one more mystery figure, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Chris, you want to show that again and see if anybody in the chat room?
Can I see the base?
Joe Baker already said he knows who it is. So
you
I
always
know who it
stick
is,
with
Chris.
the Cowboys.
NPC?
I don't know the Cowboys as well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's my one weakness.
I don't know either, but
Wild West.
it's not NPC, is it?
It's not NPC.
No.
It's Steve McQueen.
I don't.
I know, huh? Joe, you know who it is?
It's Andy Guard.
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
Oh,
Yay, Joe!
good call, Joe. Good call.
That's good.
Give that man a cigar. Good job, Joe.
That's in my wheelhouse. None of this European stuff.
I hear you. I have several poses of them, but that's the only one I dug out just for the heck of it. So they have a couple of like mounted poses and stuff.
They're the best poses of any of the makers about. Just
They're mounted rifle guys, phenomenal.
Andy Guard did
There's
some
a
cool
little bit
figures.
big.
I like their Revolutionary War and Civil War. I thought those were cool
They're
poses.
big, but they're cool.
They're cool. Yeah.
Well, hey guys, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. This is
We had a great time.
We'd love to come back.
I don't know. We definitely have to do another show, probably 2 more before the end of the year with you guys.
We've got so much stuff to show. It's embarrassing. I got a million things.
Yeah, that's just just the tip of the iceberg on the toy soldiers. I mean, it would be probably better off just to pick a genre that you want us to talk about.
We can pull out our boxes of
Yeah.
that era and show that stuff. Yeah.
Chris,
I would
do we
love
still
to
have
see
time
one
to
of
do
your
the
mask
questions, or
battles.
should we do that?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know. Who should we? I mean, we can't do both these guys. We're gonna have to pick one.
You could do Liam.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
Well, maybe not if they're not appropriately.
I was gonna say some of these might not be.
I forgot about that.
All right, I tell you what.
So he's heard of.
We'll give them a minute, and we'll go one question to each. So
That's fair. Why don't you do 2 minutes? 2 minutes.
Yeah, there you go,
guys.
Because Joe Baker doesn't have 2 minutes. He's only got.
It's already tough. You can hang
it's already
in
over
there.
9:30. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Who's going first?
Charlie can go first.
Charlie,
He's
you're
the
up
older
first.
one. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Dad, you're going next.
Chris, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What was the make and model of your first vehicle?
Plymouth Acclaim. It was light blue.
We lost him.
What happened there, man? Everybody went away and everybody's back.
Well, no, you went away. We're all here.
You went away.
I went away. Oh. All right, start that over again. What was the make and model of your first car? I didn't hear the answer to that.
Oh, Plymouth Acclaim.
Okay.
I had a Plymouth Acclaim, light blue.
All right. What did you dream of being as a kid?
Ooh, fighter pilot because of Top Gun.
What does a person need to be happy?
Love.
Family.
Yeah.
What fictional world would you choose to live in?
Middle Earth.
Of course, Dad.
But after the good guys win, not before.
What fortune would you want to get from a fortune cookie?
One that told me I wasn't going to have to work till I was 70.
What have you done that you're most proud of?
Had children for me. It's my sons are definitely for me.
Favorite place to visit?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, we don't do a lot of vacations, but
I like Kentucky. I like to hike in Kentucky. You know, the Natural Bridge. I've been there, so I love that.
For me, it gotta be Marquette Lodge, a bit up north
That's
of
it.
here near Grafton.
Oh.
It's beautiful there.
All right. Good way to end the show.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Once again, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank
and,
you. It was a lot of fun.
We
Yeah, it was
really
a great
appreciate you
time.
giving us the time.
Thanks, guys,
Good
and
night.
You guys
happy
were
Easter,
awesome.
everybody.
Yep.
Thanks for showing us everything.
Yep.
Thank you
Don't
so
forget,
much.
Next week we
Thank
got
you.
Robert King on next week, a 3D printer. And the week after that, we got Mr. John from Gettysburg Toy Soldier Shop,
Ooh,
right,
nice.
Steph?
Nice.
John Jr.
Oh, John Jr. is coming on, not John Sr.
No,
Okay.
it's John
Okay.
Jr.
Looking forward to it.
And then I'll be going to the Gettysburg show that weekend. So it'll
Woohoo!
be the week before the show. So, all right, guys, everybody have a great week. Thanks
Have a
again,
good
Good
guys.
night,
Have a
everybody.
good night.
All right, guys.
Happy Easter too. Happy Easter, whoever's
guys.
celebrating.
Oh yeah, happy Easter.
The show's over. This stinks. They'll be back next week. Listen up, soldier. I need you to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and have